Led Zeppelin wasn't just a band, it was a force of nature. With Jimmy Page's masterful guitar work, Robert Plant's soaring vocals, John Paul Jones' multi-instrumental brilliance, and John Bonham's thunderous drumming, they created some of the greatest rock music ever recorded. But behind the legendary music, the band's dynamic was a mix of deep friendship, artistic respect, and intense internal tensions. Like many of the greatest rock bands, Zeppelin's relationships were built on passion, which sometimes led to conflict. From the very beginning, Led Zeppelin functioned as a brotherhood. Jimmy Page, who had been a session musician and a key member of the Yardbirds, assembled the band in 1968, bringing in Plant, Bonham, and Jones. Their chemistry was instant, and their shared love of blues, hard rock, and improvisation became the foundation of their sound. Unlike other bands where egos clashed from the start, Zeppelin operated as a tight unit in their early years. They weren't just bandmates, they were friends, traveling the world together, pushing musical boundaries, and creating history. The strongest bond in the band was between Page and Plant. As the band's primary songwriters, they spent countless hours crafting lyrics and melodies, developing a musical language that defined the Zeppelin mystique. Their artistic connection was undeniable, from the haunting beauty of Stairway to Heaven to the raw power of Whole Lotta Love. Offstage, they shared a love of mythology, mysticism, and the blues, further strengthening their friendship. However, no band exists without tensions, and Led Zeppelin was no exception. While Page and Plant were the creative front, John Paul Jones sometimes felt overlooked despite being a musical genius who contributed significantly to the band's arrangements and iconic bass lines. His classical training and versatility were essential to Zeppelin's sound, but he often stayed out of the spotlight, leading to occasional frustrations. Bonham, the band's powerhouse drummer, was both the heart of Zeppelin's rhythm and one of its most volatile personalities. He was deeply loyal to his bandmates, but his struggles with alcohol sometimes created friction. His larger-than-life presence, both on and off stage, meant that tensions could rise, especially during grueling tours. However, Bonham's bond with Page was undeniable. His drumming gave Page the rhythmic freedom to experiment, and their mutual respect kept the band's sound fresh and dynamic. One of the biggest challenges in Zeppelin's dynamic came with their immense success. As the band became one of the biggest in the world, the pressures of fame, constant touring, and personal struggles began to take a toll. By the mid-70s, excess had set in, and tensions started to surface. Page's increasing interest in the occult and his deep dive into experimental production techniques sometimes clashed with the rest of the band. Meanwhile, Plant faced personal tragedies, including a serious car accident in 1975 and the death of his son in 1977, which deeply affected his relationship with the band. Despite these struggles, Zeppelin remained united. Even when disagreements arose, their mutual respect for each other's talents kept them together. But everything changed in 1980 when John Bonham tragically passed away. His death was not just the loss of a drummer, it was the loss of a brother. The remaining members knew they couldn't continue without him, leading to their decision to disband rather than replace him. In the years following Zeppelin's breakup, friendships within the band endured, but there were also tensions. Page and Plant reunited for projects in the 1990s, but their collaborations were often strained by creative differences. Jones, feeling left out of their reunion efforts, expressed frustration over being sidelined. Despite this, all three remaining members came together for the legendary 2007 Celebration Day reunion concert with Jason Bonham, John's son, on drums. It was a reminder of what made Zeppelin great. 4 musicians locked in perfect chemistry, creating something greater than themselves. Led Zeppelin's dynamic was built on passion, respect, and deep-rooted friendship, but it was also marked by struggles and personal challenges. Their ability to balance creative differences with an unbreakable bond is what made them one of the greatest rock bands of all time. The friendships and feuds within Zeppelin didn't tear them apart. They fueled their music, making it raw, real, and timeless.